It's time for Wausau West Warrior High School Baseball on Wausau Area Sports. Warrior Baseball is brought to you by the Clover Belt Credit Union since 1936. Local lenders lending local money, keeping our community strong. Also brought to you by Rocket Industrial, the Wausau West Warrior Diamond Club, the Wausau West Athletic Department, the Weld Riley Law Firm, and attorney Matt Meyer. It's time now for Warrior Baseball on your home for Wausau West Sports. Wausau Area Sports. And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Wausau West Warrior High School Baseball on Wausau Area Sports. Today, it is a Wisconsin Valley Conference matchup as the Warriors taking on the Stevens Point Panthers. It is a beautiful day for baseball. Yep, we haven't had too many of these types of days so far during the spring, but here today, it is perfect in terms of the weather for high school baseball. Wausau West, they come in with an overall record of 5 wins and 12 losses. They are 2-8 in the Wisconsin Valley Conference. Stevens Point is in first place in the WVC. They are 15-3 overall. They are 9-1 in the conference. And when the story of the Wisconsin Valley Conference baseball season is written, yesterday probably will be the big day because Stevens Point went into a doubleheader. Let's call it a doubleheader. They had the completion of a suspended game, and then they had the regularly scheduled game, which had been a postponement against DC Everest. And going into play, it was Stevens Point in first at 7-1, and DC Everest second at 6-2. DC Everest came out in the suspended game, scored a pair of runs in the fourth inning, had a 5-3 lead, but then it was all Stevens Point after that, as they were able to win it by a score of 13-6. And then Stevens Point in the regularly scheduled game, they knocked off DC Everest by a score of 14-2. So after play yesterday, Stevens Point now has a 3-game lead over DC Everest, Marshfield, and Wisconsin Rapids in the Wisconsin Valley Conference race. These teams played in Stevens Point at Bucol Park on Tuesday night. Warriors came out, took a 2-0 lead, but they were not able to get the big hit. Wausau West stranded the bases loaded twice and stranded 2 runners twice in the first 4 innings. 10 stranded runners in the first 4 frames. And then Stevens Point came back and was able to win it by a score of 6-2. So, again, Warriors had their opportunities, and they're going to try to put it all together here today against the Spash Panthers. Coming up, we will have a look at the starting lineups for today's game, but coming up next, we will talk to the head coach of the Wausau West Warriors. I'll be talking to John Albee straight ahead. It is Wausau West taking on Stevens Point High School Baseball on Wausau Area Sports.
Too early to start thinking boats. Once the season starts, you want to be ready. So, what's your boat? A boat for fishing? Boat for skiing? A pontoon boat for partying? Or are you thinking personal watercraft? Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union, the leader in financing fun. Great rates, great service, great fun. Local lenders lending local money. Quick and easy loan approval. It's the way financing should be. Stop in and visit with a CCU lender even before you hit the marina. CCU can set you up with a great rate financing approval, so when you find your boat, you're ready to float. The season's just too short not to enjoy every moment you can on the water. Check it out and stop in. Call or apply online at ccuwausau.com. Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union. We finance fun.
Wausau West Warrior High School Baseball continues on Wausau Area Sports. One of the best days we've seen all spring. Boy, we've been waiting for a day like today. Great baseball weather, sunny skies, warm conditions, and the Warriors home taking on the Stevens Point Panthers. From Wausau West High School, I'm Chad Holmes, joined by head coach John Albee. And Coach, on Tuesday night, we're just talking about it. It shows again what a between a team that's right now 3 games in front in the Wisconsin Valley Conference and your team that's in 5th place, because again, it was a game where a hit at the right time or a defensive play at the right time, it shows again. I think that the Valley is very, very tight from top to bottom this season.
Yeah, definitely it is. I still feel we can compete with any team in the Valley when we play good baseball, but we have to play really good baseball all the way around for entire 7 innings. And unfortunately, we make a mistake here or there that just kind of takes us out of us. We need to clean that up. We still have opportunities to do that, but it's really tight, and I think we're still a pretty competitive team.
And again, it's all about timing as well. I mean, it's got to be frustrating where you have all those opportunities early to have the bases loaded twice and strand them, and then have 2 runners on base twice and strand them in the first 4 innings. And I was saying to you as well that it's not a case where you're not trying to get the hits at the right times. You did it against DC Everson the first game. But again, situational hitting is something. Is there anything that you can do in terms of trying to get the guys in that mindset? Because obviously, again, a lot of one of the big stats would be 2 out with runners in scoring position. I mean, a lot of games are won and lost right there. As you guys try to, be mentally sharp, is there anything that you guys can do as a coaching staff to help in those situations?
Yeah, absolutely. We do that in batting practice all the time, where we give them situations. We may do hit and run. We may do runner on third. You got to score them. There's a variety of things that we go through. When you go into the game, you've got to be able to take that from batting practice and put that into your process of being ready to perform and execute in that situation. Obviously their pitchers are solid. They're trying to compete against us just as equally. So just because you go through it, doesn't mean you're going to execute every time. But that's got to be part of the mental process of our players, and we got to make sure that they're understanding that whatever situation they're in, they're taking the right approach.
It's a busy week for you guys. You got the 2 games coming up on Saturday, but for Stevens Point, it's a really busy time because they had your game on Tuesday. They played almost 2 complete games yesterday, and then they're back here today. Do you look at it as an opportunity? Because, I mean, you said it. They got good pitching, but that's still asking a lot. This is an opportunity, isn't it, here today?
It is, absolutely. The thing with them is they have depth. They've got plenty of guys on their roster that they can go to, but yeah, I think they're going to be a little bit depleted, obviously, from their games this week. So we're going to have to take advantage of whatever we see from them, and it's up to us to do the job to get it done.
What else about Spash jumps up? Because I actually went over and watched them against Everest yesterday, and they took it. I mean, that was a big couple of games. They were 1 game ahead going in, and they're 3 games ahead going out. It looks like, again, this is a really good Stevens Point team. Anything in particular stand out?
Well, both the defense and the offense. I mean, they play solid defense, generally speaking. They're making the plays that they need to make. Pitching has been, competitive pretty much all the time. We got to Stashik a little bit early in that first game, or on Tuesday, but otherwise they're pretty solid and competitive defensively. Again, their depth helps them with that, I think. But offensively, they can hit the ball pretty darn hard, and that's something we got to make sure our pitchers are, not give them anything really good to hit. So we got to compete that way.
What is the pitching plan today?
We're going to go with Joe Gravine to start out, and then we've got a few different options for our relievers depending on the situation.
And for Joe, I mean, we've seen him previously last couple of years, not as much maybe this year. He obviously got hurt in that Wisconsin Rapids game very early, but when he's on, what do you see?
He's got a lot of snap on the ball. He's a competitor. From hockey, he's got some big game experience. So it just kind of leaning on him to bring that out to, for us, kind of give our team a little motivation, hopefully, and we'll see what he can bring for us today.
Good luck today.
Thank you very much.
Head coach of the Warriors, John Albee, will come back, have the starting lineups on the first pitch. It's Wausau West taking on Stevens Point, Wisconsin Valley Conference Baseball on Wausau Area Sports.
Rocket Industrial's mission to package with less is a commitment to making a future that's better for the next generation. Their recommendations help manufacturers across the nation package with less material, less waste, less time, and with less cost. Their engineers and experts provide data-backed solutions that positively impact your bottom line. When you work with Rocket Industrial, you're working with a partner committed to making a difference. Rocket Industrial, package with less. Learn more at rocketindustrial.com.
Thanks to the Wausau West Baseball Diamond Club for their support of our broadcast of Warrior Baseball on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel. Community support through the Diamond Club is crucial for our student athletes. All race funds directly benefit the program. The Diamond Club offers several advertising opportunities for local businesses and organizations to gain visibility while contributing to high school sports. For more information, go to WausauWestBaseball.com and click on Diamond Club. Thanks again to the Wausau West Diamond Club for helping bring Wausau West Warrior Baseball to you on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel.
Third.
And Chad Holmes again here from Wausau West High School as we are nearly set for action between the Wausau West Warriors, thanks to the Wausau, and the Stevens Point Panthers. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for today's game. We may have to stop in the middle for the national anthem, but let's get it underway. For Stevens Point, leading things off and playing center field is Kason Sager. Batting second, the right fielder, Braden Marshke. Batting third, the shortstop, Calvin Roth. The pitcher, batting fourth, Jonathan Trelka. Braden Jankowski is the third baseman, hitting fifth. Gavin Thiel, the second baseman, hitting sixth. Grant Yankee in left field, batting seventh. Darren Grapsky is the first baseman, batting eighth. And Noah Shakurit is the catcher, batting ninth. So we will get you the Wausau West lineup here in just a moment. But first, the playing of our national anthem. And our national anthem here from Wausau West. Gave you the Stevens Point lineup again real quickly for Stevens Point. Center fielder leading off, Kason Sager. Batting second, the right fielder, Braden Marshke. Batting third, the shortstop, Calvin Roth. Jonathan Trelka, the pitcher, hits fourth. Braden Jankowski, the third baseman, will bat fifth. Gavin Thiel at second base, batting sixth. Grant Yankee in left field, bats seventh. Darren Grapsky, the first baseman, hits eighth, and Noah Shakurit is the catcher, batting ninth. Craig Terpstra is the head coach of Stevens Point Area Senior High. For the Wausau West Warriors, leading things off is the starting pitcher, Joe Gravine. Batting second for the Warriors and playing center field is Cam Blasky. Batting third is the first baseman, Ty Teske. Marshall Helke in right field will bat cleanup. Batting fifth and playing shortstop is Carson Thurs. Batting sixth, the catcher, Rowan Robbins. Keegan Cruzan is the designated hitter, hitting seventh. Batting eighth and playing left field is Alex Kapitz. Batting ninth, the third baseman, Will Stengel. And the second baseman, Parker Helke, he is the flex player. He is not in the batting order. He's been replaced by the designated hitter. So again, for the Warriors, batting order, Joe Gravine, Cam Blasky, Ty Teske, Marshall Helke, Carson Thurs, Rowan Robbins, Keegan Cruzan, Alex Kapitz, and Will Stengel. Head coach of the Warriors is John Albee. Again, Stevens Point, first place in the WVC. They have a record of 9-1 in the conference. They are 15-3 overall. The Warriors are 5-12 overall, and they are 2-8 in the WVC. Stevens Point has a 3-game lead in the conference with 5 conference games remaining. Starting pitcher for Wausau West, Joe Gravine. His 5th appearance, he has no record, only 3 innings pitched, 8 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 5 walks, 1 strikeout, a 9.33 earned run average. He was the starting pitcher a couple of weeks back against Wisconsin Rapids, had to leave that game early with an injury. He missed a week of action, then came back. He has been hitting the hide off the ball recently, and now he's going to get a chance on the mound. We'll give you the Wausau West defense. Alex Kapitz in left field, Cam Blasky in center, Marshall Helke in right, Will Stengel at third base, Carson Thurs is at shortstop, Parker Helke the second baseman, Ty Teske at first, Rowan Robbins is the catcher, and Joe Gravine is the pitcher. Kason Sager will lead things off for Stevens Point. Right-handed batter, number 12, center fielder for the Panthers. Red jerseys, black numerals outlined in white, white pants for Stevens Point. White jerseys, white pants, dark blue numerals outlined in gold for Wausau West. Glad you could be with us here today on Wausau Area Sports. Joe Gravine kicks, first pitch of the game, and there's a fastball right in there for strike one called. Beautiful day for baseball. Lots of blue skies, warm temperatures, finally some short sleeve weather for some high school baseball. 0-1. Drops a little bit low, evens things up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Rowan Robbins, he has played, I believe, every inning of every game behind the plate for Wausau West this season, setting the target. Pitch is a fastball, low and outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Craig Terpstra, the Stevens Point head coach, in the third base coach's box, longtime head coach for Spash. 2-1. Swing and a miss on a good fastball from Joe Gravine, and that evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Third meeting of the season between these squads. 2-2. There's a chopper third base side, pull foul. We'll do it again at 2-2. This season in the Wisconsin Valley Conference with the new alignment after Merrill left for the Great Northern after the end of last season, everybody playing each other 3 times. In this case, Wausau West going to Stevens Point twice and Spash coming here once. Spash has won 10-0 and 6-2 in the first 2 meetings. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. So a good start for Joe Gravine, 1 up and 1 down for the Panthers. And now number 2 hitter, right fielder Braden Marschke will step in. Braden Marschke, .387 batting average in Wisconsin Valley Conference play this season. No home runs and 6 runs batted in. A number of Stevens Point hitters among the best in the Wisconsin Valley Conference in terms of batting average. A very good hitting team. Right-handed batter. Working out of the stretch in all circumstances is Joe Gravine. Sets, kicks, fires. Fastball in at the knees for strike 1 called. Some good pop on it for Gravine here early. Working quickly. Has the sign, has the target. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Hard slider, breaking ball. And that's strike 2. Something the Warriors also need. They need to have their pitchers pitch from ahead. Have not done that enough during the course of the season. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Gravine to start off the top of the first inning. That will bring up the shortstop and number 3 hitter and the number 1 hitter in the Wisconsin Valley Conference in terms of batting average, Calvin Roth. Roth, .593 in league play this season. No home runs and 8 runs batted in. Gravine fires. There's a ground ball. Fair ball down the third base side. In foul territory, chased down by Capitz. Rounding first, heading to second, and sliding in safely with a double with 2 outs is Calvin Roth. So, Stevens Point now has something going, a runner in scoring position with 2 out. And as I said, Calvin Roth, he's back over 600 in terms of Wisconsin Valley Conference batting this season. And now, Jonathan Trelka, the cleanup hitter and starting pitcher, will step in for Stevens Point. Runner leads. Here's the pitch. Fastball right at the bottom of the zone for strike 1 called. Nothing in 1 on Trelka. .448 batter in conference play, 11 runs batted in. That leads Stevens Point in league play. And there's a chopper third base side charging. Grab is made. Fire across in time. Will Stengel, 5-3 on the putout. And the inning comes to an end. No runs, 1 base hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. And a 1/2 inning. Stevens Point nothing. Wausau West coming to the plate. This is Wausau West Warrior High School Baseball on Wausau Area Sports. The Weld Riley Law Firm of Wausau and attorney Matt Meyer is a supporter of high school sports coverage on Wausau area sports. Matt and the attorneys at Weld Riley have a wide range of practical knowledge and litigation experience, enabling their firm to offer an unparalleled breadth of services and depth of talent in Wisconsin. Matt can help you in finding a legal solution in civil litigation, family law, personal injury, and more. Contact Matt Meyer at Weld Riley Law Firm in Wausau. Thanks to Weld Riley and Matt Meyer for their support of high school sports coverage on Wausau area sports. Wausau Area Sports is more than play-by-play broadcasts on our YouTube channel. Go to wausauareasports.com for the latest news and information involving our high school sports teams, including Wausau West, Newman Catholic, DC Everest, Wausau East, Marathon, Mosinee, and more. It's all at wausauareasports.com. Also, you can contact us there. If you have story ideas or questions, just go to wausauareasports.com and to the contact section. Also, follow us on Facebook and Instagram for the latest information on where we are and what we're covering. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well so you miss none of the action. Wausau Area Sports on YouTube, at wausauareasports.com, on Facebook and Instagram. The Wausau area's newest source for information and play-by-play of high school sports. Wausau Area Sports. And Chad Holmes again here from Wausau West High School, where the Warriors are coming to the plate for the first time in this scoreless game. Joe Gravine, Cam Blasky, and Ty Teskey will be the first three in the batting order for Wausau West. Joe Gravine hitting .286 on the season, 14 hits and 45 at-bats, has no home runs and 11 runs batted in. Give you the Stevens Point defense in just a moment, but first Gravine will step in against Panthers starting pitcher Jonathan Trelka. Here's the kick and the first pitch. Breaking ball just off the outside corner for ball one. Actually, that is Braden Drossel, excuse me, the pitcher. That is Trelka's the DH and it's Braden Drossel. My lineup card had him as DH and the pitcher, but so Drossel leading things off, and the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. Again, a big challenge here today for Stevens Point. Their 4th game in 3 days on the outside corner for strike one called. So number 20, Braden Drossel, he is a junior. Right-handed thrower against the right-handed pitcher. Against the right-handed hitter. Breaking ball, low and outside, and that's ball 3. So 3 balls and 1 strike on Joe Gravine. Grant Yaki in left field, Kaysen Sager in center, Braden Marschke in right for Stevens Point. 3-1 pitch. There's a well-hit ball deep left field. Way back is Yaki. Way back. That ball is out of here. Joe Gravine over the left field fence on a 3-1 pitch. And the Warriors take a 1-0 lead. Drilling it over the fence is Joe Gravine to get the Warriors on the board. And that will bring up the Wausau West center fielder, Cam Blasky.
Brings up the center field, number 14, Blasky.
First home run of the campaign for Joe Gravine. Drossel to the plate. Fastball on the outside corner for strike one called. No balls, 1 strike, and there is a high pop-up. Second base side, Gavin Thiel will be called off. Now coming in, and the right fielder, Marschke, will make the grab in right center field. So the first out of the frame And that will bring up the Warrior first baseman and number 3 hitter, Ty Teske. Ty Teske, 229 batting average, no home runs, and 9 runs batted in. Left-handed batter. Here's the pitch. There's a chopper, first base side. Is going to stay fair? Yes, it will. Picked up by Grabsky. He'll take the bag, 3 unassisted for out number 2. That will bring up the Wausau West cleanup hitter, Marshall Helke.
Brings up the right fielder, number 24, Marshall Helke.
First pitch is up and off the outside corner for ball 1. Here's the kick and the 1-0. There's a big cut and a pop-up. First base side, Grabsky did not see it, and now the second baseman, Gavin Thiel, will come over and make the grab for out number 3. That right field side is always a tough sun field, especially on a day like today. But good communication as the second baseman, Thiel, able to take charge, make the play, and end the Wausau West bottom of the first inning. But the Warriors on the board. Wausau West gets a solo home run from Joe Gravine. 1 run, 1 base hit. There were no errors and nobody left on base. End of 1 inning. It is Stevens Point trailing Wausau West by a score of 1-0. This is Wausau West Warrior High School Baseball on Wausau Area Sports.
Thanks to the Wausau West Athletic Department for their support of our coverage of Wausau West High School sports on Wausau Area Sports. Thanks for watching on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel, but we'd like to see you out and about supporting Wausau West student athletes in action. To see a listing of upcoming events at Wausau West High School, go to WisconsinValleyConference.org and click on Wausau West. That's WisconsinValleyConference.org and click on Wausau West. Thanks to the Wausau West Athletic Department for their support of our coverage on Wausau Area Sports.
Top half of the second inning, Stevens Point coming to the plate, trailing Wausau West by a score of 1-0. For Spash, it will be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Braden Jankowski, Gavin Thiel, and Grant Yankee against Wausau West starter Joe Gravine. Could not have had much of a better start for Joe Gravine. He was able to shut down the Panthers in the first inning and then led off the bottom of the first with a home run to give the Warriors the early advantage. So now Braden Jankowski does step in for Stevens Point. Left-handed batter. And the first pitch is lined towards left center field. That's going to be in the gap and then there for a base hit. And it rolls all the way to the warning track. Rounding first and into second with a stand-up double is Jankowski to begin the Stevens Point top of the second inning. Well hit ball by Jankowski. Again, right in the gap between Blasky and Capitz. Blasky able to chase it down in deep center field. And the tying run in scoring position with nobody out for Spash. And second baseman Gavin Thiel coming to the plate. Thiel, a .300 batter in Wisconsin Valley Conference play this season. Right-handed stick. Gravine peeks back a couple of times at the runner. Now comes to the plate. Good fastball. Pops into the mid of Rowan Robbins for strike 1 called. No balls and 1 strike. Taking his lead off second is Jankowski. And the pitch, there's a fly ball, well hit left field. Back is Capitz, way back near the fence. Sweeps up and does not bring it in. Rounding third, Jankowski, he'll come in to score. Stopping at second base with a long double is Gavin Thiel. And the game is tied up at 1 apiece. Just missing a home run was Thiel. Going back, trying to take it away was Alex Capitz. Made a great effort in front of the fence, deep left field. But back-to-back doubles for Spash here in the inning. And now Grant Yankee, another left-handed hitter, will come to the plate. Here's the pitch. There's a square around fastball. Drops down low for ball 1. One ball and no strikes. And there's a good fastball in there for a called strike 1. 1-1. Very active start here in this one from Wausau West. Top of the second inning. Slightly open stance from the left-handed batter's box for Yankee. And the pitch. Little flinch by the umpire, but says nope, off the corner for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike, so a good hitter's count right here for Grant Yankee. Off of second base is Gavin Thiel. Joe Gravine sets just above the belt. 2 looks back at the runner, kicks and deals. Fastball misses off the inside corner, and the count goes to 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike on Grant Yankee. .379 batter in Wisconsin Valley Conference play this season. Again, up and down this lineup, Stevens Point has very good averages in the conference. Fastball misses off the outside corner, and that's ball 4. So the first 3 batters reach base safely for Stevens Point in the top of the second. Runners on first and second, nobody out for their number 8 hitter, first baseman Darren Grabsky.
Brings up the first baseman, number 8, Darren Grabsky.
He will step into the right-handed batter's box. So early jam here now for Joe Gravine. The Wausau West right-hander sets. Kicks, and there's a square round, and the pitch is up and out of the strike zone for ball 1. One game, top of the second inning. Wisconsin Valley Conference action here on Wausau Area Sports. Runners off second and first. Gravine fires. There's a bunt. It's a good one. Gravine will pick. Just has 1 play. Fires to first in time. The sacrifice is successful for Stevens Point. Runners now on second and third with 1 out for their number 9 hitter, the catcher, Noah Chikurit.
Now batting, Noah Chikurit.
Left-handed batter. A number of left-handed hitters in Craig Terpstra's batting order for Stevens Point. Joe Gravine kicks and deals. Fastball outside, snagged by Rowan Robbins, but ball 1. Looking down the third base line is Chikurit, and now he'll step back in. Another slightly open stance for the left-handed box. Gravine. 1-0. There's a pop-up out of play, a tad tardy on that cut, as a little bit of car met baseball beyond the fence. That's why I don't park right by the fence. You learn over the years. You don't want to take any chances. The closest to the ballpark is probably the most dangerous here at Wausau West. 1 ball, 1 strike. Misses a little bit up, and that's ball 2. Top of the order for Stevens Point, and Kaysen Sager on deck. Runners lead off second and third. Joe Gravine kicks and fires. Another good fastball. Again, a little bit behind it is Chikurit, and it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Strikeout would be big right here for Joe Gravine. Looks in for the sign from Rowan Robbins. Now the target is set. Gravine kicks and fires. Ground ball first base side in the hole between first and second in the right field for a base hit. 1 run will score, and that will be all. So hit in the perfect spot for Stevens Point. It's an RBI single. It is the first lead of the day for Spash. 2-1.
Center fielder number 12, Kaysen Sager.
So Kaysen Sager, top of the order, will now settle in for Spash. 3 base hits in this inning for Stevens Point. Runners on the corners and 1 out. Middle infielders pinching a little bit towards second for the potential double play. And there's a swing and a fly ball. Center field coming in. Making the grab is Blasky. Runner will tag and score from third. So a sacrifice fly in the first pitch seen by Kaysen Sager. Yankee will score to make it 3-1 Stevens Point. So 2 outs, runner on first for Braden Marschke. Marschke is 0 for 1. He was a strikeout victim back in the first inning. Joe Gravine to the plate. Swing and a miss. Good heartbreaking ball. Has some downward movement as it got towards the strike zone. Swinging over the top is Marschke for strike 1. Marschke, another of those Stevens Point hitters, among the tops in the conference. Runner on the move, down low, scooped up by Robbins, but no chance that time. That was not a great pitch for Rowan Robbins to throw on, and it turns into an easy steal of second base. So that will put a runner in scoring position with 2 men out for Stevens Point. 1 ball, then 1 strike on Braden Marschke. Gravine trying to get out of this frame with no further damage. The right-hander to the plate. There's a little roller third base side. It will be a foul ball. One ball, then 2 strikes. Wind blowing as it tends to do here at Wausau West. Not as bad as it was on Tuesday here. I was doing softball, and that wind was as hard as I can remember it. It was blowing even pieces of the top of the fence off. 1-2. And there's a high pop again over the top and out of play. So we'll do it again at 1-2. Quick note. Saturday, we'll have a pair of Wausau West baseball games heading to Tomah. Triangular. The Warriors take on Tomah and then Chippewa Falls. On the air at 9:45. First pitch at 10 a.m. for Warriors against Tomah. And then at 12:30, the Warriors will take on Chippewa Falls. So again, pair of Wausau West baseball matchups from Tomah on Saturday, starting at 9:45 a.m. right here on Wausau Area Sports. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner leads off second base. And the pitch. There's a ground ball first base side right to Ty Teske. He'll take a step and a half to the bag. 3 unassisted for out number 3. But Stevens Point does score 3 runs in the inning. 3 runs on 1, 2, 3 base hits. No Wausau West errors and 1 runner left on base. End of an inning and a half here from Wausau West High School. It is Stevens Point 3, Wausau West 1. This is Wausau West Warrior High School Baseball on Wausau Area Sports. And actually, we're going to keep it right here. I'm having a little bit of an issue here with my setup, so we're going to keep it right here. Remind you that coming up tomorrow, we will have Wausau West Warrior High School softball. The Warriors will take on Antigo on the road. I will be in Antigo tomorrow for all the action. That will be tomorrow at 4:45 for the pregame and 5 o'clock for the first pitch. Wausau West and Antigo right here on Wausau Area Sports. So the Warriors coming to bat in the bottom half of the second inning. For the Warriors, it will be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Carson Thurs, followed by Rowan Robbins and Keegan Cruzan. Again, Stevens Point starting pitcher Braden Drossel. Warriors got a solo run in the first inning on a solo home run by Joe Gravine.
Leading the Warriors off at the bottom of the second inning, the shortstop, number 23, Carson Thurs.
So Carson Thurs steps in to lead things off for Wausau West here in inning number 2. Here's the pitch, low and outside for ball one. Carson Thurs had a 2 RBI hit on Tuesday in Stevens Point, had 2 hits in the game. He'll foul that one off to the screen for strike one. Thurs hitting .260 on the season, has 11 runs batted in. He was the only Warrior with more than 1 base hit in the game against Stevens Point on Tuesday night over at Buchholz. Pitch is low and outside, taken for a ball. 3-1 Spash as we play the bottom half of inning number 2. 2 balls and 1 strike here on Thurs. Drossel sets, kicks, fires. Down low, taken for a ball, and that's ball 3. It was 3 balls and 1 strike on the leadoff man in the first when Joe Gravine took a pitch over the left field fence for a home run. See if Carson Thurs can be as effective on this 3-1 delivery. But that is a fastball in there from Drossel for a called strike 2. Full count on Thurs. The junior looks into his catcher, Chikurit. Has the sign, has the target, payoff pitch. And there's a fly ball center field. Right in his tracks, a couple of steps to his left is Hasten Sager for out number 1. 1 up and 1 down for the Warriors, and now Rowan Robbins, the Wausau West catcher, will come to the plate.
Catcher number 6, Rowan Robbins.
Rowan Robbins, .211 batting average, 9 hits and 47 at-bats, no home runs, and 3 runs batted in. Pitch is in there for a called strike 1. Also in the Wisconsin Valley Conference today, Wausau East is playing in Wisconsin Rapids, and DC Everest is at Wisconsin Rapids. 0-1. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 2. Stevens Point 9-1 in the conference. DC Everest, Marshfield, and Wisconsin Rapids all 6-4. Warriors 2-8, and Wausau East is 1-9. 0-2 pitch. Misses on a fastball outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Getting towards the end of the season. Yeah, we only got a couple of more weeks of conference play. The Warriors next week will take on East, and then the following week take on Marshfield. Breaking ball, low and outside, and the count evens up at 2-2. Warriors at East on Tuesday of next week, here against East on Thursday, and both those games will air live right here on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel. 2-2 pitch. Fouled straight back to the screen, just to my left, and we'll do it again at 2-2. Keegan Cruzan will come over and chase down this ball. He's in the on-deck circle. He'll hit next for the Warriors. Again, Braden Drossel kicks, fires. Low and outside, and battling all the way back to run it full is Rowan Robbins. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Right-handed batter waits. 3-2 delivery. Outside, and that's ball 4. Gets away from the catcher. Sprinting to first will be Robbins, and he'll stay right there. So a runner on first and 1 out for Keegan Cruzan. 5 runs batted in this season for Keegan. 154 batting average, but does have good pop. Unfortunately, his pitching arm has not been feeling 100%, so not taking any chances. Of course, he had that outstanding effort. One hitter through 6 1/3 with 14 strikeouts against Eau Claire North a few weeks back, as that pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike 1. But in his next start against Wisconsin Rapids, this wasn't feeling all that great, and we have not seen him on the mound since then. 0-1 pitch. Oh, getting the low call that time is Drossel, and that even makes it 0-2. Getting the low strike that time is the right-hander. Leading off of first base is the runner, Rowan Robbins. Here's the pitch. There's a hard grounder into left field for a base hit. Taking that 0-2 pitch and hitting it hard past the leaping Braden Jankowski was Keegan Cruzan, and the Warriors now have runners on first and second with one out. And left fielder Alex Capitz will step in next.
Brings up the left fielder number 7, Alex Capitz.
188 batter, 1 RBI, 4 hits and 22 at-bats. So runners off second and first, 3-1. Stevens Point, bottom of the second inning. Drossel looks at the runners, kicks, deals. Low and outside, a nice play made by the catcher, Chikurit. Got to his right, got the chest protector in front of it, and keeps the runners at second and first. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses away, taken for a ball. And now time is called. We'll get a visit to the mound. While we have a moment, let's take a look at this week's state rankings in Division I in high school baseball from MaxPreps.com. Hudson comes in at number 1. Bayport is ranked number 2. Kimberly, 3rd. Hortonville, 4th. Chippewa Falls, a team the Warriors will face on Saturday in the second game. They're number 5 in the state this week. Milton is number 6. Appleton North, 7th. Kaukauna 8th, Holman number 9, and De Pere is number 10. Division 2 has Rhinelander at number 1. They have a big game in the Great Northern Conference today. They are taking on Mosinee. Mosinee just outside the top 10 in D2. Waupun number 2. Kettle Moraine Lutheran 3rd. Reedsburg number 4. St. Thomas More 5th. Seymour number 6. Platteville is number 7. Delavan Darien number 8. Appleton Xavier 9th, and Wisconsin Dells rounding out the top 10. We'll get you to Divisions 3 and 4 a little bit later on. But now 2 balls and no strikes on Alex Capitz. Runners on second and first with 1 out. Pickoff move and diving back in safely is Keegan Cruzan. So the Warriors trying to get those runs back. Spash with 3 in the top of this inning. 3-1, bottom of the second. Drossel sets, kicks, deals. There's a chopper foul, strike 1. Number 7 on the back of the jersey for Alex Capitz. Stands right on top of home plate. Has the hands up high near the right ear hole as he waits. Drossel's 2-1. Another chopper, third base side, foul again, and it evens things up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Three runs, 4 hits, no errors for Stevens Point. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for Wausau West. Again, the runners off second and first. Braden Drossel. Kicks, deals. There's a ground ball in the hole taken by Roth. He'll flip the third in time to get the force. So a fielder's choice for out number 2. Runners will remain on first and second. And that will leave it up to the Warrior third baseman, Will Stengel.
Number 10, Will Stengel.
6-5 on that putout at third base. And the pitch on the outside corner for strike 1 called. Looking for the 2-out RBI hit is Stengel. Drossel kicks and fires. Low and outside, smothered nicely again by the catcher, Noah Chikurit. And it's evened up at 1-1. The junior has the sign, has the target. 1-1. Check swing, but it goes off the bat of Stengel. That'll be strike 2. Should Will Stengel reach base, top of the order for the Warriors. In fact, right in front of us, Joe Gravine chasing down that foul ball. He would hit next. Runners off second and first. Braden Drossel peeks back at the runner at second. Comes home. Low and outside, another nice play. Again, moving to his right nicely so far in this game for Stevens Point has been their catcher. It looks as though the pitcher, Drosso, is very confident that he puts anything in that artificial dirt that his catcher will be able to keep it in front of him and keep the runners from advancing. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and there's a fly ball center field. But again, coming in just a couple of strides is Kason Sager, and he'll squeeze for out number 3. Warriors threaten but do not score. No runs on 1 base hit. There were no Stevens Point errors and a pair of runners left on base. End of 2 here from Wausau West. Warriors trail Stevens Point by a score of 3-1. This is Wausau West Warrior High School Baseball on Wausau Area Sports.
Too early to start thinking boats. Once the season starts, you want to be ready. So, what's your boat? A boat for fishing? Boat for skiing? A pontoon boat for partying? Or are you thinking personal watercraft? Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union, the leader in financing fun. Great rates, great service, great fun. Local lenders lending local money. Quick and easy loan approval. It's the way financing should be. Stop in and visit with a CCU lender even before you hit the marina. CCU can set you up with a great rate financing approval, so when you find your boat, you're ready to float. The season's just too short not to enjoy every moment you can on the water. Check it out and stop in. Call or apply online at ccuwausau.com. Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union. We finance fun.
Top half of inning number 3, Stevens Point coming to the plate, leading Wausau West by a score of 3-1. For the Panthers, it will be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Calvin Roth, Jonathan Trelka, and Braden Jankowski against Warrior starting pitcher Joe Gravane. Roth has a double in this game. Mentioned earlier, he is the number 1 hitter in terms of batting average in Wisconsin Valley Conference play during the 2026 season. Very good right-handed batter. On the outside corner, right on the corner from Gravane for strike 1 called. Gravane again working out of the stretch in all circumstances. 0-1, swing and a miss. Another good pitch. That was some good drop right into the when it reached the strike zone, and it's now 0-2. But against a hitter like Roth, you cannot relax, even up in the count. Gravane again is ready. Has the target, 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. 3 really good pitches in a row from Joe Gravane for the first out of the inning. Third strikeout of the afternoon for the Wausau West right-hander, and that will bring up the designated hitter for the Panthers, Jonathan Trelka. He grounded to third base his first time up. Again, Rowan Robbins going through his signs behind the plate. Gravane's pitch drops a little bit low for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Long look in from Joe. He is ready. There's another good pitch, and falling off to the first base side after that throw is Gravane. You worry a little bit because it was on a pitch in Wisconsin Rapids where his hip kind of went out of 100% phase and had to leave that game and miss a week of action. But that one was in there. 1-1. There's a flare again towards the track action behind us. Ball and 2 strikes. Very busy week for Stevens Point. 1-2 pitch, ground ball towards third and out of the stretch, reach of the outstretched attempt by Will Stengel for a base hit. Just out of the reach of Stengel as he tried to get to his left. So a 1-out single for Trelka will bring up the number 5 hitter, third baseman Braden Jankowski. Jankowski had a double his first time up. Jankowski came into play in the Wisconsin Valley Conference at .476. With that hit, he now has 11 hits and 22 at-bats in conference play, an even .500. Stevens Point playing their 4th game in the last 3 days. They have a couple of games against Watertown coming up on Saturday. So again, a 6-game week for the Stevens Point Panthers. Pitch is up and out of the zone on a fastball for a ball. 3-1. Stevens Point, 1 out, runner on first, top of the 3rd inning. Pick off again, and basically a step off the bag was the runner and just fell back on top of it. Very short lead right now. Teskey holds the runner. 1-0. Fastball pops into the mid of Rowan Robbins for strike 1 called. Left-handed batter. Doubled, scored the first Stevens Point run in the 2nd. Hard ground ball in the hole between first and second into right field for a base hit. Bobbled by Marshall Helke, but he picks it up quickly and gets it back to the infield. Runners will be on first and second for Gavin Thiel. So back base hits for Stevens Point, and the Panthers have something going again in the 3rd.
Brings up Gavin Thiel.
Thiel laced an RBI double, scored a run in the 2nd. 1-for-1. Runners off second and first. Gravine looks back at the runner at second, now comes home. And there's a little flare down the first base side, off the fence, and a foul ball. So now 6 base hits. The scoreboard says 5, but actually Stevens Point has 6 base hits in this game. 1 in the first, 3 in the second, and now 2 in the 3rd. Gravine is ready. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Drops down low, evens things up at 1-1. Putting down the fingers is Robbins. Now the target is set. Gravine, 2 looks back at the runner at second, 1-1 pitch. There's a high pop-up. Center field, Cam Blasky comes in, and he'll make the grab. That was a towering pop-up to short center field by Thiel, and that's out number 2 of the frame. That will leave it up to the number 7 hitter in the Stevens Point batting order, left fielder Grant Yankee. So Gravine, an opportunity to get out of this inning with no damage done. Left-handed batter settles in. Gravine's pitch. A little bit up and out of the zone for ball 1. Grant Yankee walked, scored a run in the 2nd inning. Runners off second and first. Gravine kicks and deals. Down low, and that's ball 2. So now a good hitter's count for Grant Yankee. 2 balls and no strikes. Darren Grabsky, the first baseman, would hit next for Stevens Point. Long stare in from Gravine at his catcher. Joe's ready. 2-0. Way up high, and that's ball 3. So 3-0 on Grant Yankee. .379 batter in Wisconsin Valley Conference play. Fastball poured right in there for strike 1 called. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Again, the runner's off second and first. Gravine kicks, deals. Good fastball, inner portion for strike 2 called. Count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runners will be on the move with 2 outs. Here's the payoff pitch. And just getting his... Oh, it was catcher's interference on Rowan Robbins. So it was a late cut, but sometimes those are the ones where you're just trying to get a piece of it, and reaching out was Rowe. And now the bases are loaded. And we will get a visit to the mound with the bases loaded and 2 outs, and Darren Grabsky coming to the plate. The Wausau West softball team is playing well today. They are leading at Wausau East by a score of 10-2. Warriors 10, Lumberjacks 2 across town in the bottom of the 6th inning. Again, we will have the Warriors tomorrow in Antigo against the Red Robins. In fact, the Warriors have come from behind in that game. East had the lead 2-0 going to the top of the 5th. Warriors scored 2 in the 5th and then 8 runs in the top of the 6th to take the lead. So again, Wausau West 10, Wausau East 2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Caitlin Butler has hit a home run in that game for Wausau West. But again, we'll have the Warriors in Antigo for high school softball tomorrow at 4:45 right here on Wausau Area Sports. Big situation right now. 3-1 lead for Spash. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Darren Grabsky. Pitch is up and in for ball 1. Grabsky laid down a sacrifice bunt his first time up. One-0. Line drive into center field for a base hit. 1 run is in. That will be it as the throw comes all the way to the plate. But an RBI single for Grabsky extends the Stevens Point lead to 4-1. Took it right back through the chute. Bases remain loaded for the number 9 hitter, catcher Noah Chakirit.
Catcher number 29, Noah Shakirit.
Shakirit had an RBI single his first time up, 1 for 1. So 4-1 now Stevens Point, and still 3 runners on base, 2 outs. Gravine's kick and pitch. Fastball tails off the outside corner for ball 1. 3 base hits again for Stevens Point in this inning. Runners off third, second, and first. And there's a high pop-up third base side. Under it, waiting, and then grabbing it is Will Stengel for out number 3. Again, another towering pop-up, and again here at West with the wind, it's never an easy play, but the bases are stranded, loaded for Stevens Point in the top of the 3rd. But the Panthers do score 1 run. 1 run on 3 base hits. No errors and 3 runners left on base. End of 2.5. It is Stevens Point 4, Wausau West 1. This is Warrior Baseball on Wausau Area Sports.
Rocket Industrial's mission to package with less is a commitment to making a future that's better for the next generation. Their recommendations help manufacturers across the nation package with less material, less waste, less time, and with less cost. Their engineers and experts provide data-backed solutions that positively impact your bottom line. When you work with Rocket Industrial, you're working with a partner committed to making a difference. Rocket Industrial, package with less. Learn more at rocketindustrial.com.
Thanks to the Wausau West Baseball Diamond Club for their support of our broadcast of Warrior Baseball on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel. Community support through the Diamond Club is crucial for our student athletes. All race funds directly benefit the program. The Diamond Club offers several advertising opportunities for local businesses and organizations to gain visibility while contributing to high school sports. For more information, go to WausauWestBaseball.com and click on Diamond Club. Thanks again to the Wausau West Diamond Club for helping bring Wausau West Warrior Baseball to you on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel. Thanks to the Wausau West Baseball Diamond Club for their support of our broadcast of Warrior Baseball on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel. Community support through the Diamond Club is crucial for our student athletes. All race funds directly benefit the program. The Diamond Club offers several advertising opportunities for local businesses and organizations to gain visibility while contributing to high school sports. For more information, go to wausauwestbaseball.com and click on
Bottom of the third, Warriors trail Stevens Point 4-1. Joe Gravine will lead things off for Wausau West. Braden Drossel's first pitch is a breaking ball in there for strike one called. Gravine is 1 for 1. He hit a solo home run back in the first inning. Drossel sets, kicks, fires. Low and outside, taken for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Joe Gravine, Cam Blasky, and Ty Teskey, the top 3 in the order here for West in inning number 3. Swing and a miss. Going up and out of the zone for that one was Joe Gravine. And the count is 1-2. Drossel looks in, has the target, sets, kicks, and deals. There's a high pop-up. Shortstop side, Calvin Roth is under it, and he'll make the grab for out number 1. That will bring up the Wausau West number 2 hitter and center fielder today, Cam Blasky. Marshfield leads DC Everest today 6-0 in the second inning. Another Wisconsin Valley Conference baseball matchup today. Drossel, breaking ball and a good one in there for strike one called. 0-1 on Cam Blasky. Right-handed thrower, right-handed batter. Swing and a miss. Another good breaking ball from Drossel, and it's 0-2. Wisconsin Rapids leads Wausau East 10-1 in the second inning. So a couple of rather big leads early in Valley play this afternoon. 10-1 Rapids over East and 6-0 Marshfield leads Everest. 0-2. Swing and a miss. 3 pitches, 3 breaking balls, and a strikeout in the second out of the inning. First strikeout for Braden Drossel, and that will bring up the Wausau West first baseman, Ty Teskey.
Brings up the first baseman, number 12, Ty Teskey.
Ty grounded to first base his first time up. Drossel's pitch. There's a chopper, first base side again, grabbed by Grabsky, flipped to the pitcher, not able to handle it. Ball gets away. Turning is Teskey. Now he's off the bag, but he'll slide back in safely. That will be an error on Stevens Point, and the inning stays alive for the Warriors. And the cleanup hitter, Marshall Helke, will step in.
Picks up the right fielder, number 24, Marshall Helke.
Marshall Helke popped up to the second baseman, his first time up. Time is called. It's the first time I've ever heard Craig Terpstra apologize to an umpire in all these years. Something happened on the first base side. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Again, a breaking ball that fell off the outside corner. Waving at it and coming up empty is Helke. 0-1. Teskey leads off first. Drossel sets. 0-1 pitch. That was a hanger that time. That ball actually hung right over the middle of the plate. Big cut by Helke, but falls it off the face mask of the catcher, and it's 0-2. Two outs, bottom of the third inning. 4-1, Stevens Point with the lead. Runner leads off first. 0-2. Fastball up and out of the zone. Ball 1. Another look in. Now peek at the runner by Braden Drossel. Here's the pitch. There's a roller third base side. Picked there by Jankowski. He'll flip across in time 5-3 on the putout for out number 3. No runs on no base hits. There was an error, and 1 runner left on base for West in the 3rd. End of 3. It is Stevens Point 4, Wausau West 1. This is Wausau West Warrior High School Baseball on Wausau Area Sports.
The Weld Riley Law Firm of Wausau and attorney Matt Meyer is a supporter of high school sports coverage on Wausau Area Sports. Matt and the attorneys at Weld Riley have a wide range of practical knowledge and litigation experience, enabling their firm to offer an unparalleled breadth of services and depth of talent in Wisconsin. Matt can help you in finding a legal solution in civil litigation, family law, personal injury, and more. Contact Matt Meyer at Weld Riley Law Firm in Wausau. Thanks to Weld Riley and Matt Meyer for their support of high school sports coverage on Wausau Area Sports. Thanks to the Wausau West Athletic Department for their support of our coverage of Wausau West High School Sports on Wausau Area Sports. Thanks for watching on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel, but we'd like to see you out and about supporting Wausau West student athletes in action. To see a listing of upcoming events at Wausau West High School, go to WisconsinValleyConference.org and click on Wausau West. That's WisconsinValleyConference.org and click on Wausau West. Thanks to the Wausau West Athletic Department for their support of our coverage on Wausau Area Sports.
Top of the 4th inning, Stevens Point coming to the plate, leading Wausau West by a score of 4-1. It will be the top of the order for Stevens Point, Kason Sager, followed by Braden Marschke and Calvin Roth. Joe Gravine still out there. Both pitchers have gone the distance for each team as we head to the 4th. Sager struck out looking in the 1st and hit a sacrifice fly, had an RBI in the 2nd. Joe Gravine, he's ready. Here is the kick and the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1 called. Still some good velocity and giddy up on that pitch from Gravine. Oh, 1. Fastball right on the outside corner for strike 2. Again, the Warriors a little short-handed in terms of their pitching because of Keegan Cruzan not being available. He would have, I think, been the choice. There's a ground ball foul, third base side. But Warriors still have a rather deep staff. We've seen a lot of different pitchers, and again, while I think the overall pitching for the Warriors has not been what they would have liked so far, but they have had a number of different players who've shown the ability to get guys out. Just missing on that pitch. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, Rowan Robbins will put down the fingers and set the target. 1-2 pitch. Right off the end of the bat, goes foul on the first base side. We'll do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Resetting the outfield defense for the Warriors. Alex Capitz is in left field. Cam Blasky in center. Marshall Helke in right. We'll go over the infield D again in just a moment. Ball and 2 strikes. Joe Gravine kicks and fires. Well hit ball left field going back and over the head of Capitz. 1 hop over the fence for a ground rule double. Hitting that ball right on the screws was Kason Sager for his first hit of the game. 8th base hit of the game for Stevens Point. Braden Marschke, the designated, Braden Marschke, actually number 15. This is Henry Roth, a pinch hitter for Stevens Point.
Number 15, Henry Roth.
Henry Roth stepping in for the Panthers. Sophomore right-handed hitter. Hangs a little bit high for ball 1. Four to 1. Stevens Point with the lead, top of the 4th inning. 1 ball, no strikes. Gravine's pitch. There's a swing and a fly ball, well hit left field, way back. Looking up is Capitz, and that ball will be out of here. Henry Roth, sophomore, comes off the bench and drills a 2-run homer over the fence in deep left field and extends the lead for Stevens Point to 6-1. And Coach John Albee is walking out to the mound, and there may be a pitching change now for the Warriors. Yep, we're going to get a new pitcher here for Wausau West. We are going to take a timeout and then come back and let you know about the new pitcher here for the Wausau West Warriors. Top of the 4th inning, nobody out, nobody on base. It is Stevens Point 6, Wausau West 1. This is Warrior Baseball on Wausau Area Sports.
Wausau Area Sports is more than play-by-play broadcasts on our YouTube channel. Go to wausauareasports.com for the latest news and information involving our high school sports teams, including Wausau West, Newman Catholic, DC Everest, Wausau East, Marathon, Mosinee, and more. It's all at wausauareasports.com. Also, you can contact us there. If you have story ideas or questions, just go to wausauareasports.com and to the contact section. Also, follow us on Facebook and Instagram for the latest information on where we are and what we're covering. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well so you miss none of the action. Wausau Area Sports on YouTube, at wausauareasports.com, on Facebook and Instagram. The Wausau area's newest source for information and play-by-play of high school sports. Wausau Area Sports.
New pitcher for the Wausau West Warriors is Marshall Helke. He moves in from right field to pitch. Joe Gravine goes from pitcher to third base. Will Stengel will move from third base to second base. Marcus Koenigs comes off the bench. He will go into right field. And Parker Helke goes from second base, and he goes off the diamond. So again, we'll give you the defense here for the Warriors, but the new pitcher is Marshall Helke. On the season, Marshall Helke, making his 5th appearance, has a record of 1 win and no losses. 15 1/3 innings pitched, 19 hits, 12 runs, 7 of which have been earned, 10 walks, 13 strikeouts, and an ERA of 3.20. So now defensively for the Warriors, outfield of Capitz in left, Blasky in center, Marcus Koenigs in right. Joe Gravine is now at third base. Carson Thurs remains at short. Will Stengel is now at second base. Ty Teske at first. Rowan Robbins the catcher for Marshall Helke. Calvin Roth will now step in.
Brings up number 11, Calvin Roth.
It's Henry Roth, who just drilled a home run over the left field fence to make it 6-1. Marshall Helke kicks and fires. Good fastball. Outer portion at the knees for strike 1 called. Calvin Roth is 1 for 2. He had a double in the first and struck out in the third. Working out of the stretch, even with nobody on base, is Marshall Helke, the right-hander, to the plate. There's a fly ball. Again, well hit center field. Blasky is back, and that ball is out of here. Back-to-back home runs for Stevens Point. First it was Henry Roth, now it is Calvin Roth, and it is now 7-1 Panthers. Wind is helping today, but those balls were hit exceptionally well.
Brings up the DH, Jonathan Trelka.
And now the number 4 hitter, designated hitter Jonathan Trelka will come to the plate. Trelka is grounded out. and also singled and scored a run. 7-1, Stevens Point. Pitch is down low for a ball. Right-handed batter waits. 1-0 pitch. Good fastball right at the bottom of the strike zone. Evens things up at 1-1. This is a very good hitting Stevens Point team. If you look at the Wisconsin Valley Conference standings, a number of Panthers among the top hitters in the conference. Number 1, Calvin Roth, and he showed on that last hit. And there's a liner into right center field for a base hit. So 4 consecutive hits in the inning for Stevens Point. Trelka with his second hit of the game. And a runner on first, nobody out for Braden Jankowski. Jankowski doubled and scored in the second and then singled in the third. He is 2 for 2. Left-handed batter, slightly open stance. Hands up near the left ear hole, waits. Marshall Helke sets just above the belt. Here's the pitch. And there's a swing and a fly ball. Short left field. Going back is the shortstop. Thurs will make. Oh, that's actually Gravine who's moved to shortstop. So I missed that one as it looks like Thurs moves to third. And now Gravine, instead of going from pitcher to third, it goes from pitcher to the shortstop and makes a nice grab for the first out of the inning. So runner on first and 1 out for Gavin Thiel. Thiel had an RBI double. He is 1 for 2. He's also scored a run. Hard grounder into center field for a base hit. First and second, 1 out for Garrett Yankee. No cheapies in this inning for Stevens Point. They've been hitting the ball well.
Brings up
Grant Yankee walked and scored in the second, reached on catcher's interference in the third. Another left-handed batter for Stevens Point. Runners off second and first. Helke to the plate. Liner right into center field for a base hit. Getting waved around and then stopping at third as the throw comes in. Late stop sign from third base coach Terpstra. Keeps Trelka at third. Thiel now at second. Yankee at first for Darren Grabsky. Grabsky laid down a sacrifice bunt in the second. Had an RBI single in the third.
First baseman number 8, Darren Grabsky.
6 base hits in the inning now for Stevens Point. Runners off third, second, and first. Helke's pitch. Liner! Backhanded by Gravine. He'll flip to third, get the force, a run will score. But a good play made by Joe Gravine to take away a base hit. It is an RBI and a fielder's choice for Grabsky, and the lead is now 8-1 for Stevens Point. So runners on first and second. And the 9th hitter to come to the plate in this inning for Spash, Noah Chakirit, the catcher. He is 1 for 2. He is singled and also popped up. Marshall Helke, a long look in. Sets. And comes home. It scoots to the backstop, and the runners will each advance 90 feet. So now second and third with 2 outs. Right now, the Warriors need an out. Need to get out of this inning with no further damage. 1 ball and no strikes on Chakirit. And the pitch misses for ball 2. Boy, Stevens Point swinging the bat very well. I don't think it's a case where the pitchers are necessarily not doing a great job. It's just right now Stevens Point is right on it. 2 balls and no strikes. Marshall Helke fires. And there's a grounder towards second base. Little pick there, and flip to first, Stengel to Teskey, and that will do it for Stevens Point in the top of the 4th inning. For the Panthers, they score 4 more runs. 4 runs on 6 base hits. There were no Wausau West errors and 2 runners left on base. We are halfway through here from Wausau West High School. Middle of the 4th inning. It is Stevens Point 8, Wausau West 1. This is Wausau West Warrior High School baseball on Wausau Area Sports.
Wausau Area Sports is more than play-by-play broadcasts on our YouTube channel. Go to wausauareasports.com for the latest news and information involving our high school sports teams, including Wausau West, Newman Catholic, DC Everest, Wausau East, Marathon, Mosinee, and more. It's all at wausauareasports.com. Also, you can contact us there. If you have story ideas or questions, just go to wausauareasports.com and to the contact section. Also, follow us on Facebook and Instagram for the latest information on where we are and what we're covering. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well so you miss none of the action. Wausau Area Sports on YouTube, at wausauareasports.com, on Facebook and Instagram. The Wausau area's newest source for information and play-by-play of high school sports. Wausau Area Sports.
Number 23, Carson Thurs.
Carson Thurs will lead things off for Wausau West in the bottom of the 4th inning. Stevens Point with an 8-1 lead. Carson Thurs flew out to center field his first time up. Here's the kick, and the first pitch from Drossel is low and outside for ball 1. Warriors got on the board first, but since then, 8 unanswered runs for Spash. One 0 pitch. Fastball on the outer portion of the plate for strike 1 called. The 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the batting order for John Albee. Third, Rowan Robbins and Keegan Cruzan due up here in the 4th. Oh. Getting the low strike that time is Drossel. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. That looked a little low, but nevertheless, it's not my job. Umpire said it was in there. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. The right-hander kicks and deals. And there's a ground ball towards short. Scooped up there by Calvin Roth. He'll flip across in time. 6-3 on the putout for out number 1. And that will bring up the Wausau West catcher, Rowan Robbins.
Brings up the catcher, number 6, Rowan Robbins.
Rowan Robbins walked his first time up. It was a good at-bat. He fell behind 0-2, was able to battle and ultimately work his way on base. There's a fastball in there for strike 1 called. The junior is set, 0-1. There's a ground ball. Good scoop at third. And then a throw across in time. Boy, that was a pretty good play by Braden Jankowski on the short hop. Was able to make the pick and then throw accurately across. 5-3 on the putout for out number 2. Just a solid baseball team is Stevens Point. That's why they are in first place by 3 games in the WVC. And now Keegan Cruzan will step in for the Warriors. Keegan had a hit, 1 for 1. He had a single his first time up. Pitch is low and outside for ball 1. Working quickly. Braden Drossel, 1-0. Catches the inside corner. Evens things up at 1 ball and 1 strike. One. There's a grounder up the middle into center field and a second base hit of the game for Keegan Cruzan. Third base hit overall for Wausau West, and the inning stays alive for Alex Capitz.
Brings up the left fielder, number 7, Alex Capitz.
Alex Capitz reached on a fielder's choice his first time up, so he is 0 for 1. Drossel's pitch. There's a grounder off the foot, a little hop as he bounces out of the box by Capitz. Strike 1. Warriors with 1 in the first. Stevens Point with 3 in the second. 1 in the third, and then 4 in the fourth. 8-1 Panthers, bottom half of the fourth inning. Low and outside, taken for a ball, evens things up at 1-1. Again, the Warriors back in action Saturday twice in Tomah. We'll have the action. We'll give you more details. There's a ground ball left-hand side. Scooped up at third by Jankowski. He'll flip across in time for out number 3, and the inning comes to an end. 5-3 on the putout. No runs on 1 base hit. There were no Stevens Point errors and 1 runner left on base. End of the fourth. It is Stevens Point 8, Wausau West 1. This is Wausau West Warrior High School Baseball on Wausau Area Sports and the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel.
Too early to start thinking boats. Once the season starts, you want to be ready. So, what's your boat? A boat for fishing, boat for skiing, a pontoon boat for partying? Or are you thinking personal watercraft? Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union, the leader in financing fun. Great rates, great service, great fun. Local lenders lending local money. Quick and easy loan approval. It's the way financing should be. Stop in and visit with a CCU lender even before you hit the marina. CCU can set you up with a great rate financing approval, so when you find your boat, you're ready to float. The season's just too short not to enjoy every moment you can on the water. Check it out and stop in. Call or apply online at ccuwausau.com. Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union. We finance fun.
Top of the 5th inning, Stevens Point 8, Wausau West 1. Also in the Valley, Marshfield roughing up DC Everest. Top of the 4th inning, 10-0 at Hackman Field. And it is also Wisconsin Rapids beating Wausau East by a score of 15-1. That game is in the top of the 4th. So not any close ones right now in WVC play this afternoon. Top of the order for the Panthers in the top of the 5th. And there's a swing and a miss by Kason Sager for strike 1. Sager had a double, scored a run to start off that 4-run at top of the 4th inning. He also has a sacrifice fly. 1 for 2 officially. Pitch is in there for a called strike 2. The Wausau West softball team is victorious today. They knock off East by a score of 10-2. Warriors now 10-11 overall in softball. Foul tip at the plate. Staying alive is Sager. Big inning for the Warriors was the 6th inning. They broke open a 2-2 tie with 8 runs and then won it 10-2. Jaden Elke, Jenna Gravine, Jaden Kalmus all had 2 hits in the game for the Warriors. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3 in the first out of the inning. Tomorrow, Wausau West softball in Antigo. 4:45 pregame, 5 o'clock for the first pitch right here on Wausau Area Sports.
Batting number 15, Henry Rock.
Henry Roth, who had a 2-run home run in his first at-bat in the 4th, steps in. Marshall Helke fires. Good fastball from the big right-hander for strike 1 called. Marshall Helke, a 1-0 record, had a 5-inning complete game in that 11-1 win at Wittenberg-Burnhamwood 2 weeks ago. 0-1. Swing, a foul tip, held on to by Rowan Robbins, and the count is 0-2. After a lot of sunshine to start things off, things have gotten overcast here in the last few minutes. 0-2. Low and outside, snagged nicely on the backhand by Rowan Robbins. Ball 1. Ball and 2 strikes on Henry Roth. Sophomore right-handed hitter. And the pitch drops a little bit low, evens things up at 2-2. Wind continues to push out towards left field. 13 hits for the Panthers, 3 hits for the Warriors. Drops down low, check swing, not going around is Henry Roth. And the count runs full, 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Nobody on base for Stevens Point. Payoff pitch. There's a chopper third base side going up, making the grab is third. He'll fire across, off target. Turning at first, heading towards second is Henry Roth. High chopper is going to be a close play, but throw got away. Now a runner on second and 1 out. Be the first error of the game for Wausau West.
Number 11, Calvin Roth.
And now Calvin Roth, who has a double and a solo home run, will step in. So Henry Roth leads off second base. Marshall Helke looks back at the runner, comes to the plate. Drops down low. Ball 1. Warriors against Tolma Saturday, 9:45 a.m. airtime, 10 o'clock first pitch, right here on Wausau Area Sports. And then against 5th-ranked Chippewa Falls at 12:30. So the Warriors will play back-to-back games at that Tolma Triangular on Saturday. Pitch is on the outside corner, taken for a called strike 1. So again, bright and early Saturday, 9:45 will be on the air from Tolma. Hope you can be with us as well for a pair of Wausau West High School baseball broadcasts. Runner off second. Long look at his catcher for Marshall Helke. 1-1. Bounces in there, way up into the air, all the way to the backstop. Rounding third and staying right there is Henry Roth. That was one of those pitches, again, it looked like it may have caught the corner of home plate. It knocked it way up into the air. Getting quickly to the backstop was Rowan Robbins, but it is a wild pitch and puts a runner on third with 1 out. Two balls and 1 strike on Calvin Roth. Came into play today hitting .593 in Wisconsin Valley Conference play. He'll be over 600 with his 2 for 3. 2 balls and 1 strike, and the pitch. Drops down low, and that's ball 3. Jonathan Trelka, the designated hitter and number 4 hitter, waits on deck for Stevens Point. Big right-hander Marshall Helke has the target. 3-1. Hard ground ball into left field for a base hit. Coming in to score is Henry Roth on that Calvin Roth RBI single, his second RBI, his 3rd hit of the game. And the Stevens Point lead is now 9-1.
Brings up the DH. Jonathan Trelka.
Jonathan Trelka, who has a pair of hits himself, had a single in the third, a single in the fourth, has scored 2 runs, 2 for 3. Now steps in. Runner leads off first. Ty Teske holds. Pickoff move, and back in safely is Calvin Roth. There goes the runner. Pitch is taken for a strike. Throw down to second. It will go into center, heading towards third. And in without a play will be Calvin Roth. So a stolen base and a throwing error will put a runner on third. No balls and 1 strike on Trelka. And the pitch, low and outside, taken for a ball. Well, the hitting has been very good for Stevens Point today. Again, they had 1 hit in the first, 3 in the second, 3 in the third, 6 in the fourth, and now 1 in the fifth. I have them for 14 hits in this game, as there's a ground ball pulled foul on the third base side. One ball, then 2 strikes. Stepping out for a moment is Trelka. Stevens Point entered 9-1 in the Wisconsin Valley Conference, 3 games up in the league standings. Pitch is down low, taken for a ball. Again, yesterday was a critical day for Spash with those 2 wins against DCE. Everest was 1 game back at the start of yesterday. And with Everest losing to Marshfield, they will be 4 games back after today. Looks like Marshfield and Rapids will stay 3 games back of Stevens Point. There's a chopper foul, third base side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Game on Tuesday night between these squads. The Warriors took a 2-0 lead. Stevens Point was able to then come from behind, win it 6-2. Earlier in the season in Plover, the Panthers defeated the Warriors 10-0, so 3rd meeting of the season. Potential for a 4th meeting when the playoffs get underway in a few weeks' time. 2-2. There's a fly ball, well hit again, left center field, way back, and that ball is 1 hop off the fence. Run will come in and score, and into second base with a stand-up double is Jonathan Trelka. His 3rd hit of the game, and it makes it 10-1 Stevens Point with the lead. Again, it's been a day where the Panthers are seeing the ball very well.
Third baseman number 25, Braden Jankowski.
15 hits on 10 runs in this game. Braden Jankowski has 2 of the hits. He had a double, scored a run in the second, and then he singled again in the third. He popped up to shortstop in the fourth. Runner leads off second with 1 man out. Left-handed batter, hands up, high weights. Here's the pitch. Little chopper off the foot for strike 1 called. Don't forget to check us out on our website, WausauAreaSports.com. We'll have a complete wrap-up of this one and the other baseball and softball games going on this afternoon. Again, that's WausauAreaSports.com. You can go there, get the latest area high school sports news, plus a look at our upcoming broadcast schedule and a whole bunch more. Again, that's WausauAreaSports.com. No balls and 1 strike on Braden Jankowski. Runner off second. Long look from Marshall Helke. Now he's ready. Peeks back at the runner at second. Comes home. Down low, and a nice snag made on the backhand again by Rowan Robbins. Saves a wild pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Marshall Helke sets. kicks, deals. There's a ground ball first base side, right to Ty Teskey. Goes to the bag, 3 unassisted for out number 2. Runner does advance 90 feet to third base. 2 outs for Gavin Thiel.
Brings up second baseman number 1, Gavin Thiel.
Gavin Thiel had an RBI double scored in the second, flew out to center field in the third, and then singled in the fourth. 2 for 3. Lots of multiple hit games up and down the Stevens Point lineup here this afternoon. Helke's pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1. Good downward movement on that pitch as it got to the strike zone. No balls and 1 strike. Runner off third. Helke kicks, fires. Bounces in there, taken for ball 1. So again, next week, the conference gets back into play. The Warriors will play Wausau East twice on Tuesday and Thursday of next week. Here on Tuesday, over at East on Thursday. And both games will be broadcast right here on Wausau Area Sports. There's a good fastball. Pops into the middle of Rowan Robbins for strike 2 called. In the conference next week, Stevens Point will be taking on Marshfield in a couple of big games. If Marshfield wants to try and catch Spash, they need to win both of them, Tuesday and Thursday. 1-2, low and outside. Stevens Point will be home against Marshfield on Tuesday, then travel to Marshfield Thursday. And DC Everest will be at Wisconsin Rapids Tuesday, and the Evergreens will host the Raiders on Thursday of next week. 2s across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Helke to the plate. And there's a little pop, third base side, will be out of play. Still 2-2. Going through his signs again is Rowan Robbins. Helke is ready. 2-2 pitch. Up and in. And the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. I believe Breck Blaubach is throwing in the bullpen for the Warriors. We may see him in the next inning. Blaubach was the winning pitcher against Columbus last Friday in that 20-19 game. There's a ground ball, pulled foul again on the third base side, and we will do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Actually, 2 balls and 2 strikes. No, I think it is 3-2. I think the scoreboard's wrong. I'm going to go with my gut here. I believe it is 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runner on third. Helke's ready. Here's the pitch. There's a high pop-up behind home plate and out of play. So we'll do it again. Don't forget, if you're somebody that owns a business, we've just started this new project, and we would love to talk to you about advertising opportunities. I know you don't want, but the only way this succeeds is if we do get the support of some advertising. And if you can reach out by going to WausauAreaSports.com, you can see my email. You can also contact me through the website. 3-2. There's a liner into left field for a base hit. An RBI hit, third hit of the game for Gavin Thiel on that long at-bat. And Stevens Point now leads 11-1.
Brings up the left fielder, number 7, Grant.
I think maybe we'll see Breck Blaubach now. Is coming out to talk to the pitcher is John Albee. And we will have a pitching change here for the Warriors. Runner on first and 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning. Spash has scored 3 in the frame and taken an 11-1 lead. Back in a moment, we'll tell you about the new pitcher. This is Wausau West Warrior High School Baseball on Wausau Area Sports.
Rocket Industrial's mission to package with less is a commitment to making a future that's better for the next generation. Their recommendations help manufacturers across the nation package with less material, less waste, less time, and with less cost. Their engineers and experts provide data-backed solutions that positively impact your bottom line. When you work with Rocket Industrial, you're working with a partner committed to making a difference. Rocket Industrial, package with less. Learn more at rocketindustrial.com.
Thanks to the Wausau West Baseball Diamond Club for their support of our broadcast of Warrior Baseball on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel. Community support through the Diamond Club is crucial for our student athletes. All race funds directly benefit the program. The Diamond Club offers several advertising opportunities for local businesses and organizations to gain visibility while contributing to high school sports. For more information, go to wausauwestbaseball.com and click on Diamond Club. Thanks again to the Wausau West Diamond Club for helping bring Wausau West Warrior Baseball to you on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel.
New pitcher for the Wausau West Warriors is Breck Blaubach. 1-0 record on the season. Again, he got the W in that crazy 20-19 victory over Columbus Catholic here on Friday of last week. So he'll try to get the final out here in inning number 5. Top of the 5th inning, a 11-1 lead for the Stevens Point Panthers. Blaubach, his second appearance, has pitched 2/3 of an inning, no hits, 1 run, no earned runs, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. 0.00 earned run average on the season. So again, just looking ahead at our broadcast schedule, tomorrow, high school softball, Wausau West at Antigo. 4:45 airtime, 5 o'clock first pitch. Saturday, Wausau West at the Toma Triangular, 9:45 a.m. on the air, 10 o'clock first pitch, Warriors and Toma. And then at 12:30, approximately, depending on the length of the first game, it will be Wausau West and Chippewa Falls. Next Tuesday, the Warriors will host Wausau East. 4:45 airtime, 5 o'clock for the first pitch. And then a week from today, Warriors at Wausau East. Again, 4:45 airtime and 5 o'clock for the first pitch. All the action right here on Wausau Area Sports. Don't forget, if you missed any of our action of our previous broadcasts, you can go to our website, wausauareasports.com, but actually all the games are on our YouTube channel. So go to youtube.com, go to the Wausau Area Sports channel, subscribe, and then you won't miss any of the action. So again, go to YouTube, youtube.com, and the Wausau Area Sports channel, and be able to see all of our previous broadcasts of Wausau West High School sports. And Bryce Blaubach now getting a few words from the coach. Before coming to the plate will be Grant Yankee, the number 7 hitter for the Panthers. 3 runs here in this inning for Stevens Point. The Panthers have an 11-1 lead over the Warriors. Conversation continuing on the mound. Some of the other games going on in the area. Marshfield leads DC Everest 10-1. Mosinee leading the number 1 ranked team in the state, a Division II Rhinelander, by a score of 2-0. Big Great Northern Conference matchup going on today. Mosinee softball defeated Northern Pines 25-0 today. Mentioned earlier, Wausau West defeated Wausau East in softball 10-2. Assumption over Newman Catholic in softball today 11-1. Marathon edged Edgar 6-5 in softball. In baseball, Marathon defeated Edgar 9-3. And Wisconsin Rapids has defeated Wausau East by a score of 15-1. So now Grant Yankee, left-handed batter, will settle in. Breck Blaubach. First pitch, just missing for ball 1. Runner on first, 2 outs for Stevens Point. Warriors started off the first run, a solo home run by Gravine, but since then, it's been all Stevens Point. There's a looper over the shortstop, Joe Gravine, into left field for a base hit. "17 base hits now for Stevens Point, and Darren Grabsky due up next.
Brings up first base at number 8, Darren Grabsky.
Stevens Point was well ahead of everybody else in terms of the offensive statistics in the conference going into today. and they're doing nothing to hurt their cause this afternoon. Check swing, but going around is Grabsky for strike one. No balls and one strike. Grabsky laid down a sacrifice bunt in the second and an RBI single in the third and hit into a fielder's choice in the fourth. Runners off second and first. Breck Blaubach sets near the shoulders, kicks and deals. Low and inside, smothered by Rowan Robbins, but a ball. Again, the runners take their leads. Blaubach to the plate. There's a check swing foul ball on the first base side. Strike two. Ball and two strikes on Darren Grabsky. Again, Rowan Robbins will go through his signs behind home plate and set the target. And the pitch. Drops down low, taken for a ball. Mentioned the Warriors have a pair of games coming up on Saturday. Stevens Point also has a couple of games coming up as they continue a very busy week. They will host Watertown in a doubleheader at Bucol Park, non-conference twin bill. Twos across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on base. Off-speed delivery ends up down low into the artificial dirt for ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the runners will be on the move with 3 balls and 2 strikes and 2 outs. Here's the payoff. Drops down low, and that's ball 4. So the bases are now loaded for Stevens Point, and their number 9 hitter, catcher Noah Chikarit, due up. Nope, I think we're going to get a pinch hitter here for the Panthers. Tony Rachek, a junior, will hit.
Number 32, Tony Rachek.
Came out there against Everest yesterday, was over watching the game yesterday, and Rachek pinch hit, drew a walk in quite a battle in that, I believe it was the first game. Yeah, it was the first game, the completion of the suspended game. There's a hard liner into left field for a base hit. 1 run will come in to score, so a pinch hit single for Rachek. And it's now 12-1, and the bases remain loaded for Stevens Point. Looks like we'll get another pinch hitter here for the Panthers, as Royce Lown, a senior right-handed batter, will hit in place of Kaysen Sager.
17, Royce Lown.
In the 4th inning, the Panthers sent 9 to the plate, and now this will be the 10th batter to the plate here in the 5th for Stevens Point. 4 runs in the 4th, 4 more here in the 5th. Breck Blaubach fires. There's a pop-up. Foul territory. Long run is on his horse, but not able to get there was Carson Thurs. It'll be a foul ball and strike 1. Well, Stevens Point looking like the team that is on their way towards a Wisconsin Valley Conference Championship. They will be 10-1 unless the Warriors have a big comeback in their back pocket here. And real big week. I mean, to have 4 conference games in the last 3 days and to get all 4 of them, it's really allowed Stevens Point to jump ahead in the league. And there's a pop-up, first base side, going over, taking a look, but that will be off the screen. And strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes on Royce Lown. Runners off third, second, and first. Bryce Blaubach has the sign, has the target. The junior fires. Bounces off of home plate. They'll go to the backstop. Not seen it for a moment is Robbins, but he'll chase it down quickly as one run will come in and score. So wild pitch. 5th run of the inning for Stevens Point. Makes it 13-1. The day has been weather-wise like the game has gone for the Warriors. It started off bright and sunny with that first inning home run, and now the clouds have come in. As Stevens Point puts this one further and further out of reach. There's a fly ball. Well hit left center field. Going over is Cam Blasky, and he'll make the call and make the grab for out number 3. But Stevens Point does bring 10 batters to the plate. They score 5 runs on 5 base hits, and they leave a couple of runners on base. Heading to the bottom half of inning number 5, Stevens Point 13, Wausau West 1. This is Wausau West Warrior High School Baseball on Wausau Area Sports.
Thanks to the Wausau West Athletic Department for their support of our coverage of Wausau West High School sports on Wausau Area Sports. Thanks for watching on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel, but we'd like to see you out and about supporting Wausau West student athletes in action. To see a listing of upcoming events at Wausau West High School, go to WisconsinValleyConference.org and click on Wausau West. That's WisconsinValleyConference.org and click on Wausau West. Thanks to the Wausau West Athletic Department for their support of our coverage on Wausau Area Sports. The Weld Riley Law Firm of Wausau and attorney Matt Meyer is a supporter of high school sports coverage on Wausau Area Sports. Matt and the attorneys at Weld Riley have a wide range of practical knowledge and litigation experience, enabling their firm to offer an unparalleled breadth of services and depth of talent in Wisconsin. Matt can help you in finding a legal solution in civil litigation, family law, personal injury, and more. Contact Matt Meyer at Weld Riley Law Firm in Wausau. Thanks to Weld Riley and Matt Meyer for their support of high school sports coverage on Wausau Area Sports.
Will Stengel will lead things off for Wausau West in the bottom half of the 5th inning. And the first pitch misses for ball 1. Stengel, then the top of the order, Joe Gravine and Cam Blasky. Drossel's gone all the way for Stevens Point. Pitch misses outside for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Will Stengel flew out to center field his first time up back in the 2nd inning. 2-0. Drops down low for ball 3. Warriors need to find a way to push 3 runs across at the very least here in this inning to keep the game alive. 3-0, right down the chute, taken for strike 1 called. 3 balls and 1 strike on the Wausau West second baseman, Will Stengel. He started at third today, shifted to second midway through. Inside, and that's ball 4. A leadoff walk to begin the Wausau West bottom of the 5th. And now back to the top of the order, and Joe Gravine. Joe drilled one over the left field fence back in the 1st inning for a solo home run, and then he popped up to the shortstop in the 3rd. He is 1 for 2. Here's the pitch, and that is on the outer portion of the plate for strike 1 called. No balls and 1 strike. The kick and the pitch. And there's a breaking ball and a good one in for strike 2 called. No balls and 2 strikes. Lead taken by Stengel off of first. Braden Drossel to the plate. There's a looping liner to right center field for a base hit. That could be a gapper. Grounding second, heading to third. Staying at first will be Gravine. Runners on the corners, nobody out for the Warriors. That will bring up Cam Blasky. Blasky is 0 for 2. He has flown out to right and also struck out. fourth base hit of the game and the second of the game for Joe Gravine. I should say the fourth base hit of the game for the Warriors and the second hit for Joe Gravine. So now Cam Blasky settles into the right-handed batter's box. Braden Drossel sets, kicks, and fires. Fastball in there for strike one called. Nothing in one. Stengel off at third. Gravine leads off of first. 0-1 pitch. Up and out of the strike zone, evens things up at a ball and a strike. Ty Teske, the Wausau West first baseman and number 3 hitter in the on-deck circle. 1-1. Off the outside corner, and that's ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Good hitters count now for Cam Blasky. Jakurit puts down the fingers, sets the target. Here's the pitch. There's a liner into right center field. That will be in for another base hit. Rounding second, heading to third is Gravine. And now runners on the corners, an RBI single for Cam Blasky. Makes it 13-2. And Craig Terpstra is going to come out, and we may see a pitching change now for the Stevens Point Panthers. So the Warriors coming out with a walk and a pair of base hits as they try to keep this game alive. And there will be a pitching change here for Stevens Point. We'll tell you about the new pitcher coming up for Spash. Runners on the corners, nobody out in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Stevens Point 13, Wausau West 2. This is Warrior Baseball on Wausau Area Sports.
Too early to start thinking boats. Once the season starts, you want to be ready. So, what's your boat? A boat for fishing? Boat for skiing? A pontoon boat for partying? Or are you thinking personal watercraft? Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union, the leader in financing fun. Great rates, great service, great fun. Local lenders lending local money. Quick and easy loan approval. It's the way financing should be. Stop in and visit with a CCU lender even before you hit the marina. CCU can set you up with a great rate financing approval, so when you find your boat, you're ready to float. The season's just too short not to enjoy every moment you can on the water. Check it out and stop in. Call or apply online at ccuwausau.com. Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union. We finance fun.
New pitcher for Stevens Point is Eli Herder. And Eli Herder, number 23, a junior right-hander for Stevens Point, will try to close it out for the Panthers, but the Warriors trying to keep this one going. 13-2, bottom of the 5th inning. Warriors have runners on the corners and nobody out, following an RBI single by Cam Blasky. Ty Teske due up next for the Warriors. So, again, dangerous hitter for the Warriors. Ty is 0 for 2 today. He's grounded out to the first baseman and also reached on an error. But Warriors need to get at least 2 more runs across to avoid the 10-run rule and keep this game going. Finishing up his warm-ups is Eli Herder. And Ty Teske will now head to the plate. Warriors swinging the bats here in the 5th, and Ty Teske will try to continue. Left-handed batter settles in. There's the set. Here's the kick and the pitch. Down low for ball 1. Runners lead off third and first. Here's the kick and the 1-0. And there's a cut. He'll be fouled off. 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Ty Teskey waits. Left-handed batter. Herder to the plate. There's a swing and a ground ball in the hole between first and second into right field for a base hit. That will score a run. Stopping at second base will be Blasky. It is now 13-3. 4 consecutive base runners for the Warriors, 3 consecutive hits, and 2 consecutive RBI hits. And now Breck Blaubach will now settle in for the Warriors, getting his first at-bat. He came on to pitch in place of Marshall Helke in the last inning. Here's the pitch. Up and out of the strike zone from Eli Herder for ball 1.
Breck Blaubach is now batting.
13-3, bottom half of the 5th inning. 2 runs in, runners on first and second, nobody out for the Warriors. Herder, 2 looks back at the runner, kicks, deals. There is a fastball right down the chute, taken for strike 1 called. According to my numbers, this is the first AB in varsity play this season for Breck Blaubach, so see if he can make the most of it. 1-1. There's a swing and a pop-up right field side. Coming in, making the call, and making the grab in short right field for the Panthers is Marschke, I believe. That is actually Henry Roth. Henry Roth, who came in middle of the game. Runners on first and second. 1 out for Carson Thurs. Carson Thurs had a couple of hits, a pair of RBI in the 6-2 loss in Stevens Point on Tuesday. Has a chance for more RBI right here. Herder kicks and deals. Way up high, and the catcher coming out of his crouch snags it before it gets to the backstop. Ball 1. The Warriors need to push 1 more across here to keep this game alive. Runners off second and first. Herder to the plate. Fastball, inner portion of the plate for strike 1 called. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Sign is given, target is set. 1-1. There's a liner into right field for a base hit. Rounding third, getting waved around. Here comes the throw, and then getting stopped. Going back to the bag will be Blasky. Smart play. That ball came in from Henry Roth in right field. But now the bases are loaded with 1 out, and Rowan Robbins coming to the plate. So good opportunity here for Rowan Robbins for the Warriors. Rowan Robbins walked in the second. He grounded out in the 4th. 4 base hits for the Warriors here in the bottom of the 5th. Outside on a fastball for ball 1. So the Warriors now with 7 base hits overall in the game. 1 ball and no strikes. Fastball. Right in there for strike 1 called. Well, that run from third is a big one right now for the Warriors. Got to get them in. Eli Herder kicks, fires, drops down low, and that's ball 2. So now a good situation for the batter. Rowan Robbins, 2 balls and 1 strike. If you're Herder, you don't want to go any further. You have nowhere to put this batter. Runners again take their leads. 2-1. There's a high pop-up. Right-hand side. Second baseman makes the call, makes the grab for out number 2. So now that will leave it up to Keegan Cruzan, who is 2 for 2.
Now batting, Cruzan.
Keegan Cruzan singled in the second, singled again in the 4th. Must situation here for Keegan Cruzan and the Warriors. Low and outside, backhanded by Chakirit. Ball one. 13-3, Stevens Point, bottom of the fifth. 2 outs, runners on third, second, and first. 1-0. Big cut, but popped right over the top of the backstop and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Two hours into this one, right at the top of the hour. Glad you could be with us here on Wausau Area Sports. 1-1. Fastball, outside corner for strike 2 called. Ball and 2 strikes. The big right-handed batter settles back in. Eli Herder looks into his catcher for the sign and the target. Sets at the belt, kicks, deals. Strike 3 called. And that will do it. Warriors do score twice in the bottom of the fifth. 2 runs on 4 base hits. No errors and 3 runners left on base. So that will do it. 10-run rule does come into effect. 13-3, Stevens Point over Wausau West. We will come back and recap this one coming up next. This is Wausau West Warrior High School Baseball on Wausau Area Sports.
Wausau Area Sports is more than play-by-play broadcasts on our YouTube channel. Go to wausauareasports.com for the latest news and information involving our high school sports teams, including Wausau West, Newman Catholic, DC Everest, Wausau East, Marathon, Mosinee, and more. It's all at wausauareasports.com. Also, you can contact us there. If you have story ideas or questions, just go to wausauareasports.com and to the contact section. Also, follow us on Facebook and Instagram for the latest information on where we are and what we're covering. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well so you miss none of the action. Wausau Area Sports on YouTube, at wausauareasports.com, on Facebook and Instagram. The Wausau area's newest source for information and play-by-play of high school sports. Wausau Area Sports. Wausau Area Sports is more than play-by-play broadcasts on our YouTube channel. Go to wausauareasports.com for the latest news and information involving our high school sports teams, including Wausau West, Newman Catholic, DC Everest, Wausau East, Marathon, Mosinee, and more. It's all at wausauareasports.com. Also, you can contact us there. If you have story ideas or questions, just go to wausauareasports.com and to the contact section. Also, follow us on Facebook and Instagram for the latest information on where we are and what we're covering. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well so you miss none of the action. Wausau Area Sports on YouTube, at wausauareasports.com, on Facebook and Instagram. The Wausau area's newest source for information and play-by-play of high school sports. Wausau Area Sports.
And back here at Wausau West High School, where today the Stevens Point Panthers defeat the Wausau West Warriors by a score of 13-3 in 5 innings. Oh boy, the Panther bats, they were going. The first inning, they got 1 hit, but no runs. But after that, Stevens Point was able to really hit the ball. And again, you see why they are currently in first place in the WVC. Warriors got on the board first in the bottom of the first inning. Leadoff man Joe Gravine drilled a home run over the left field fence, made it 1-0 Wausau West. But then Stevens Point was scored 3 times in the top of the second inning. An RBI double by Gavin Thiel scored Braden Jankowski with double to tie up the game at 1. There was an RBI single by Noah Chakurit to make it 2-1, and then a sacrifice fly by Keegan Sager made a 3-1 smash at the end of an inning and a half. Stevens Point would score a run in the top of the third. An RBI single by Darren Grabsky scored Jonathan Trelka to make it 4-1. Then Stevens Point would bat around in both the 4th and the 5th innings. In the 4th inning, a 2-run homer, by Henry Roth made it 6-1. That was followed by a solo home run by Calvin Roth to make it 7-1. Stevens Point would add another run in the frame as well on a single by Yankee to make it 8-1. Then Stevens Point would score 5 runs in the 5th as they sent 10 batters to the plate. An RBI single by Calvin Roth, an RBI double by Jonathan Trelka, an RBI single by Gavin Thiel, an RBI single by Noah Chikurit, were all the big RBI hits in that frame. That made it 13-1. The Warriors would score twice in the bottom of the 5th inning. An RBI single by Cam Blasky, an RBI single by Ty Teske made it 13-3. It looked like the Warriors were going to be able to get enough to keep the game alive. They had the bases loaded with 1 out, but Eli Herder was able to retire the final 2 hitters, strand the bases loaded, and the final would be 13-3. So Stevens Point improves to 10-1 in the Wisconsin Valley Conference, 16-3 overall. The Warriors are now 2-9 in the WVC and 5-13 overall. Warriors will be back in action Saturday, a pair of games in Tomah Triangular. And the Warriors will take on Tomah at 10 a.m. and then Chippewa Falls at 12:30, approximately 12:30. And we will have both those games for you right here on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel. I'll be on the air from Tomah at 9:45 a.m. on Saturday morning. And then the first pitch at 10 o'clock. And then the Warriors will play in the second game immediately afterwards as well. So, again, hopefully you can join us from Tomah for Warrior Baseball starting at 9:45 a.m. on Saturday. And tomorrow we have Wausau West Warrior High School Softball. The Warrior softball team who defeated Wausau East today in the Valley by a score of 10-2 to improve to 10-11 overall. They'll try to get to the 500 level with a win tomorrow at Antigo. Warriors at Antigo in high school softball. We'll have coverage of that one starting with the pregame show at 4:45 and the first pitch at 5 p.m. Here today, well, there'll be better days. There'll be better days for the Warriors, hopefully on Saturday, but today it's Stevens Point winning by a score of 13-3 in 5 innings. Thanks to our sponsors, without whose help we could not bring you Wausau West Warrior High School Baseball, and thanks to you for joining us. Again, I'm Chad Holmes from Wausau West High School. 13-3, Spash over West. This has been a presentation of Wausau Area Sports.
This has been Wausau West Warrior High School Baseball on Wausau Area Sports. Warrior Baseball has been brought to you by the Cloverbelt Credit Union since 1936. Local lenders lending local money, keeping our community strong. Also brought to you by Rocket Industrial, the Wausau West Warrior Diamond Club, the Wausau West Athletic Department, the Weld Riley Law Firm and attorney Matt Meyer. And don't forget, for the latest high school sports news, upcoming broadcast schedule, and more, go to WausauAreaSports.com. This has been Warrior Baseball on your home for Wausau West Sports, Wausau Area Sports.